At first glance, Adobe Premiere can be absolutely intimidating, especially if you're beginning your editing journey. I wanted to make this very basic, high-level overview video using just a few tools like starting a new project, importing footage, creating a sequence, using the slicer tool, and then exporting your project so that you have a complete video by the time it's all said and done. Again, super high overview. I'm going to go pretty quick. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And with that being said, let's get started.
You want something, go get it. Period.
So when you first open up Adobe Premiere, you have this blank screen. What we're going to do is get a new project. Whatever the project name is, feel free to type it. I'm just going to put basic video creation. Now, as we're going along, the first tip I want to give you when editing a project is that organization is everything. I have my files on a hard drive and I try to create as many folders as I can. So first, the project I have for this video is the Premiere folder. Within there, I have the basics. Within that, I have an Adobe folder specifically, and then I have the two files in the footage folder. We are going to put the Premiere project file in the Adobe folder. We'll click select, and then we will create. So here is the title, basic video creation. All of this is just in my face. No reason to need any of this, so we will just skip this part, and here we are. So now after that I skipped out of that page, we have just pretty much a blank canvas of several screens within Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm going to start by going here and clicking this folder icon. Again, remember that organization is everything, and we will create a folder called footage. I will then double click within that folder, and now I will go to exactly where the footage that I'm going to be using for this project is. Again, I'm going to emphasize this probably a lot of times, but organization's everything. I have the Adobe folder, I have the footage folder. So I'm going to take these two clips that I have for the project and then import them into my folder. Now up here we have different tabs. We're going to go back to the first kind of screen where we have the footage folder. I'm just going to go ahead and create another one called Other Items. In my Other Items folder, think of things like your sequence, maybe music, maybe pictures, just some other files, your possible supplemental footage. So maybe you have a talking video where it's just straight talking. Maybe you can put that in one folder. Then you can add your supplemental footage or B-roll in a separate folder. Just things to go back and forth to. Having the organization just makes it so much better. And I feel like that's helped me tremendously as time's progressed using Adobe Premiere. So again, in the other items now, we have nothing. This is where the fun starts. So what we're going to do is go to File, New, Sequence. There's a lot that I can break down within this certain part, but again, this is a very high-level basic overview of Adobe Premiere Pro. So what's nice is they have presets. I use every time the HD 1080p 23 frames per second preset. So that's already selected. You're going to name it, and again, I have just here basic video creation. So boom, that happens in a split second. We now have a sequence. Again, going back to your folders that you've organized, we have the footage folder where we have two clips, okay? Another helpful tip, just very simply, there's these little lines right down here. Click those. If you click by name, it actually puts all the footage in the order that it was shot. So instead of having to go through and try to find the file that you want to use first or second, it's going to show you exactly in order the times you shot the videos. So we are now going to take the first video and drag it to the sequence. So we have a pop-up here, clip mismatch warning. This may scare you. You may not receive this message, but for me, I shoot all my files in 4K, okay? So we are using a sequence that's 1080 HD. The files that I shoot in are 4K, so they're just a little bit bigger. This is completely okay. Just keep existing settings. You will see that it's extremely zoomed in. If you don't like this, that's again okay. Very quickly, just click on the footage, scroll over to effect controls up here in this window, and then the scale, you can just take it down. Again, I shoot in 4K, so I'm just gonna put it in 50. If it goes less than 50, you'll see these black bars, these Ken burns, I believe it's called. I don't want that, so I'm just gonna put it in 50. I am going to take the slicer tool, or the razor tool, I call it the slicer tool, but the razor tool. This is, for me, I think, the only, what you would say, tool that's really necessary to really get you over that edge. You can drag the footage, but if you click this and this blue bar anywhere, you can just click on the clip, go back to your selection tool, take that part where you cut, and then delete. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? You can then take the blue arrow back or the footage and drag it to the beginning. Either way, all right? Another tip out there for you guys, if this is too small of a screen here in this sequence, there's actually these bars down here. You can just casually click on it and zoom in, and it'll make the clip a little bit lengthier. It doesn't affect anything, it just kind of zooms in so you got more to work with. As this is happening here, I'm talking about the iconic canvas that I had in one of the first videos I put on this channel. I kind of turn over here, so we're gonna stop it there. We're gonna take, again, the slice tool or the razor tool, clip here, the arrow tool. You'll start to see, as you do this more and more, you really get the hang of it. I do this on a weekly basis or not a daily basis. I edit a lot of videos. So again, any questions or comments at this point, please feel free to leave them down below and I'll be happy to answer. We're gonna take the next clip now, and again, very simple, just click and drag. Oh boy, it's very zoomed in. If you can remember, go back to your effects control if it's not on effects control. We're gonna put it at 50. And then let's see here. At this point, we're starting the camera and I'm pivoting, okay? So about right, you can use your arrow keys if you wanna go frame by frame, but right here, we'll put it there. We'll see where this is at. Drag it in this time, or use the razor tool. We'll see where we left off in this last clip. Kind of pivoted a little too quick here. I feel like that's a good spot. We'll use our razor tool since I brought that up. Back to the arrow. And there's hotkeys. I don't use hotkeys. That's probably on me, but I'm just so used to going pretty quickly. So let's see how this is. If you want to play your video, there's a play button right here. Hotkeys, the space bar. I'm all over the place. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. So click play, pivot. That's pretty darn good. One more time. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so good job. First of all, round of applause. You've actually created a video. Maybe not all the way through yet, we got one more step, but you've created a sequence with video footage that you're very proud of and you're ready to, say, post on YouTube. What you want to do next is you want to go to File, Export, Media, and again, it can be very intimidating. Look over here, there's destinations, there's all this. I ignore that completely. There's settings right here. This is what I'm focusing on. It's a basic video creation. That is the file name. The location, very important. Once the video is done exporting, this is where the file is going to be at. Again, so for the final time, organization is very, very important and really helps you out in the long run. I have here now the Adobe folder where the Premiere project is at, the footage folder where the footage for the video is at. I'm just going to have it. You can create another folder, but I'm just going to place it here within the basics folder. Save, preset. 1080 HD is totally fine. There's some people in particular that might be able to compare a 4K video to a 1080p HD video, but for this sake, we'll just keep it 1080p HD. The format H.264 is what I recommend. There's all different types of file types, but H.264 is normally what I save it at. And then, yeah, I would just take this blue arrow, the entire source is selected, but just from the beginning, and then export. And this is a very short video, so it shouldn't take too much time. If you do a larger file like 4K, it may take a little bit longer depending on your process or your computer and how powerful it is. But yeah, so here we are back at our folder. You see we have the Adobe folder, again with the sequence, or the Premiere project, I'm sorry, the footage where the 2 clips are, and then the video we just exported here, a .mp4 file. We'll click on that, and then again, it's HD. I'm talking about the iconic canvas. I pivot, and the transition is very smooth. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. I went very quick, but for me, I haven't made a video on this channel in a while, and I want to get in the habit of starting to do that. A little bit of background about me if you're new to this channel. I'm a dad of a 7-month-old, so trying to find time to film can be difficult. I'm always filming on the weekends at work. That's what I do for a career. I'm a videographer. So I'm always doing video related stuff, but for my sake, I would love to get in the habit of shooting more content and editing more content, and especially something like this. I think it'd be very useful for people out there that might be intimidating, not might be intimidating, but intimidated by the program like Adobe Premiere Pro, where with my background and years of experience, maybe I can just shoot out a simple video for you guys, so that way you kind of get the gist or hang of it. Before you know it, you're, creating projects of your own. So really quick, high overview, we created a project, we used a lot of organization by creating folders, imported the footage in Adobe Premiere, used the razor tool, I call it the slicer tool, you made a sequence, and then on top of that, once the video was complete, we did export it. So again, if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them down. If you do things differently, let me know too, because I would love to hear that as well. But yeah, it's been another Cyber production. I will see you guys in a future video.